Cobb. Now here's former Huskers, Chris Raff and Aaron Davis.
We are back again tonight, Wednesday, riffing with Raff and AD. AD is back in studio after his rodeo experience of last week. AD, did you bring back a gold belt?
You say a rodeo experience?
Well, you were in Cheyenne last week.
No brothers riding donkeys and mules and bulls out there, brother.
I thought tonight you'd have your boots on, your cowboy hat, your gold belt buckle,
You know, I do. I went to one country concert. I think didn't you guys go with us? Florida Georgia line. And that dude, Zach Brown brand. Remember, it was Zach Brown. And Zach Brown, when he started playing Devil down in Georgia or Mississippi? Where was the devil at?
Down in Georgia.
Down in Georgia. He started playing that fiddle. He made that thing talk. So long story short, I've been to one country concert. It was me and two other brothers in the whole Pinnacle Arena. So I was like, what's up? He's like, what's up? So it was us three. But that was a great concert. But Wyoming was cool. Wyoming was windy as usual. So I flew into Denver and then made the short jaunt up to Cheyenne from there. Short ride, but crazy windy. But you know what was cool though, Raff? And I posted this, y'all. In fact, our guest here tonight, we're going to introduce him in a second, but the Squires, I remember the trip we took to Denver when Abby was just little and Katie was sick the whole daggum trip. No, Abby was sick the whole trip. Yeah, flu bug or something like that. But once you start, I took the toll road to I-25. It takes you all the way around Denver so you can avoid all that. But when those mountains hit, you're talking about God's masterpiece and the fingerprints. It was just like, life is good. The wind, agree. The craziness. The only thing that's bad about Denver,
don't do it, AD. Don't do it. When you're talking about God's masterpiece, I thought you were talking about John Elway and the Denver Broncos.
I didn't say Lucifer. No.
You're already on the hook.
I'm already in trouble.
I want everybody to know that last week, AD's driving through Denver, and I started getting messages that Mile High
was on
and
fire.
Power Field's on fire. And the first thing I think is, oh no, AD's in Denver. And I did wonder that maybe AD had finally followed through and lit that stadium on fire. But we know the Broncos are AD's second favorite team.
So. I will say this, man. It was cool. I was in the Denver airport, and I'm there quite often. Again, thank God for that to be busy again. Elway's is one of my favorite spots. He's at a restaurant in DIA, Denver's airport. Great food. Expensive, but great food. But I had a great time in Denver, man. It was good to see an audience again in Cheyenne of people in the audience. And it was good to see that again after we've been through the past couple years. Before we hop in real fast, and we'll do this at our next break too, Rav. We're going to definitely talk some March Madness, but not now. We're going to hop right into our guest. But it was Carter. What do you think, man? It was nuts, wasn't it?
Oh, Carter's like, I need a mic. I got
a swimmer on there.
Yeah, put me on the spot.
March Madness has been pretty crazy. I think it's about as perfect as you can get. Because I think it's always the best when you get the Cinderellas early on, but then when you end up with the Blue Bloods at the end, that's the way I like it. So I think that you can't really go better than that.
You can't. And isn't his voice just like radio? If you listen, I'm gonna have him just start calling him when I can't get to sleep. Carter, just talk to me. and he's young, so I'm thinking like when he was like 9, he was telling us I might have my assignment here today. So it's like, wow, your voice, you're just gifted for this, man.
Thank you.
You got.
Have you heard Omar Manning talk? He needs to be doing radio commercials.
Yeah, he's got a deep baritone voice as well. You know who else is gifted, folks? And it's really a treat for me to have these folks here because I have known them now, good Lord, longer than I haven't known them. Sure. The Squires are here with us tonight as our guests. Abby Squire, the phenom for the women's softball team. And we told you we were going to catch you out of left field on a radio show, pun intended, left field. Did you get it? Yeah. Nah. So, yeah, left field. She's like, oh, gosh, here he goes again. But we have the Squires here. I have known John Squire since, I'm trying to think of the year, since he was a freshman in high school. And I was in 7th grade coming into Color Middle School. And his sister, Ann Squire, I've known him longer than that, his parents, even before then. So we go back a long, long time. And Michelle, we moved in our house 18 years ago now. Literally in April, will be 18. Well, it actually is 18 years now. We moved in that March of that year, I'm looking out our bedroom window upstairs, and I see these two people down in the backyard looking at the house with the realtor, I assume. And I yell out the window. I said, Squire? He goes, AD, we're moving in. I'm like, get the heck out of here. So they became our neighbors. And so we grew up together. We've been neighbors for 18 years. We literally raised our kids together. And that house has been through everything together. And they are not just friends, they're family. And it's so cool to have them here. And Abby Squire, sophomore, University of Nebraska women's softball team. They are 22-9 right now. And folks, we're going to get into more of that later. But thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for
You
having
bet.
me.
We got a pretty good sound with it right there.
Don't talk into the mics.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we got.
Don't get afraid to
Oh yeah, they ain't gonna hit you. I mean, you stare down fastballs coming at you. Don't be there. That thing ain't gonna move.
No, it's good to be here.
Abby, this is really special for me. It actually was Chris Raff's. Actually, not Chris, but my wife's idea. She goes, "You should have Brooke's idea." She goes, "You should have Abby on the show." I was like, "Yeah, we should have Abby on the show." And then it was almost like it was poetic in that I'm watching the news last night. As you guys played Creighton, if that was a game, 15-0, but what way to get it done, Abster?
It was a game. It was a fun game.
It was a fun. I'm sure when you're up 15 points,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm watching the news last night, and they show it, and this is Abby Squire, and she hits it. I'm like, okay, that ball is still in the air. How far was that? Did you hit that home run yesterday? Was it a 2-run?
Two-run.
Two-run home
Yeah,
run?
2-run. I don't know how far it went. I honestly didn't see it go out. It felt good off the bat, so I quit looking.
So, she Sammy Sosa it. So you just said, well, I know it's good, and you just kind of jogged elegantly around the base, right? The diamond.
No, she bat flipped it.
No, she didn't.
What you should have done is probably waved at the Creighton dugout, because the men's baseball game last night, after they beat Nebraska, the pitcher waved and shushed.
Did
Yeah. So after a 15-0 whooping, you probably should have
Yeah.
sent a little wave and a kiss goodbye to them also. Just
No,
a
I
little
didn't wave
payback.
at him. I didn't wave at him, but that was a fun game.
Okay, here's one thing I don't understand. This is kind of off base, but I don't understand baseball and softball like it. What's wrong with the bat flip? Is that what is that? I see when people get ticked off about a bat flip. Is it kind of like just like bad sportsmanship?
It's a little cocky.
Okay.
I wouldn't do it personally, but hey,
So you do gracefully lay the bat down.
you just toss it. Like
Just
you
toss
always
it.
Do, yeah.
So a bat flip is when you do what, this with the bat?
Yeah, you're like that.
I think that's kind of cool though.
Yeah. I
I'd piss a lot of people off then, wouldn't I?
mean, yeah. I mean, if I was the pitcher, I'd be like, I can't wait for your next at bat. But
You may take a hit.
Gonna
You
wear that
may
one.
take a hit. You may take a hit.
Yeah.
You know, folks, we've got John and Michelle here as well. Squires, welcome. It's good to have you guys here.
Thanks for having us.
You know, I got my questions here, a lot of things, but before I even get into that, I didn't realize, and literally I know Abby before she even born, I didn't realize the accolades that she had in high school. I just knew Abby was good. I mean, she's always in the paper. I'm like, oh, Abby's just doing her thing. Ranked number 95 in the 2020 signing class by extra inning softball. Helped the Silverhawks at Lincoln Southwest to 4 district championships, 4 state tournament appearances, which included a state title in 2018, runner-up and finish 2017. Batted .495 with 18 home runs and finished on an on-base. I don't even do that in PlayStation on a video game. Was third team NFCA All-American in 2018 after hitting a career best .516 with 15 homers, 65 RBIs, 467 as a sophomore. Named Lincoln Journal Star Super State 3 times, which included first team honors in 2019. You know the most impressed with me with all these, Abby? Lettered in track, basketball, academics, obviously academics. Member of 2018-2019 class, girls all-state field champ tracking team. But the one that hits me the most, I'm most proud besides the academics, team captain, and next one, named best teammate. That is the one that shows a lot about John and Michelle and her coaches, about how she was raised. Abby has always been humble, but I seen that just blew me away, because you have a lot of people who have accolades but aren't the best to be on the teammate with.
Yeah.
To be with all these accolades you have, and John and Michelle, I know this just gives you goosebumps. You know this, you've seen it, but when you really look at it now, named best teammate in 2018-2019, that says more about your character than your athletic ability, young lady. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. How much did participating in other sports help you out, you think, in softball?
Oh, it just made me an athlete. Like, even back to when we used to play backyard football. Like,
And I
in
was a
basketball.
referee.
Yeah, and AD was a referee. Like, I just think that I learned when I was young how to be an athlete and move and be quick and compete. And so it all translates over to softball.
And Abby Carter and Raff, she was tough because she was basically the only girl back there.
And the youngest.
And she'd be playing with guys back
Mine
there.
is Naya.
Yeah, well, Nia was back there, cooking baked cakes in the mud or something like that. Nia wasn't all about that.
Cheerleading.
Yeah, she was cheerleading and she was in trouble half the time, because they hit me or something like that. Abby was taking hits from dudes 4, 5, 6 years older than her on our football field in our backyard. And we have a brick area to where it's kind of the landscape that goes in their yard. There were kids that were taking shots on them bricks.
Oh, yeah.
And there was plenty of times Abby with those little red cheeks. I was like, Abby, okay? I'm okay. I'm okay. And that toughness, it just transferred over, though.
Yeah.
How would you? Okay, so do you think that some of that toughness, because your generation gets poked on and picked on quite a bit,
Yeah.
where we tend to say, well, they're the trophy generation. They're soft. That's not true for everybody. I think that's a blanket statement. I think it's inaccurate. It's unfair.
Mhm.
However, I will say this. When people make that statement, I always say this. Who's giving out the trophies? You can't blame kids for behavior that adults cultivate and give out trophies and medals for. You are definitely not that type, because you had great parents to do that. John, you being a former athlete, you were a stud football player. I still tease John all the time. You and Jay Pitts, why didn't you just play football at college at Nebraska? Because you definitely had the skills. John, you're an East Spartan grad. John, tell us, how was it raising your background as a coach? You coach football as well. You're an athlete. How did that help with raising an athlete, a prolific athlete, as a daughter?
Boy, yeah, that's a good. Abby,
Grab that microphone, big dog. There you go. There you go.
When you're a coach, your family's kind of all part of it too.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, I remember going to summer workouts with our team and high school kids, both East and I was at North Star for a time too, and I'd bring Abby with me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I remember her running bags and lifting weights and breaking down film on Sundays. Coach Darlington was one of our assistants, and Abby's in the room watching film with George. So she probably knows more about 21 personnel than most girls do, but
Used to. All right.
yeah, but I think you recognize what makes a team good, and what makes a team good is great teammates and great work ethics.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we always valued that and tried to impress that upon both of our girls about, any success that you have on an athletic field is probably due not only to your hard work, but your teammates and your coach also. And so never lose sight of the fact that it is team game and winning is important.
John, when you said winning is important, as a coach, let me ask you this. Were there times, man, and me and you both are old school, and we've heard that old saying, oh, it doesn't matter if you win or lose. Are you having fun? John, did you ever say that to your players, man?
Oh, no.
No.
I was not a good loser.
No.
Still am not.
No.
No, he's not.
One of my favorite statements is, show me a good loser and I'll show you a loser. So we're probably over the top competitive. But I do think, the winning takes care of itself. And Abby had some great coaches growing up in softball. And I'd be remiss not to mention them. Mike Eckler and Jeremy Eckler, Mike Barrett,
Coach
Watt at Southwest, Greg Dickel, Brendan.
Yeah.
So she's had some great coaches, and they impressed upon her the importance of doing things the right way, and I think always preach that it's the process. Be committed to the process, not so much the result, because the result will always take care of itself, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
You hope
John,
it does.
You preach about the process, and Michelle, I'm going to ask you this. Obviously, John, being the former coach and still a coach. Once you're a coach, you're always a coach. When players see you now, they don't call you John.
Yeah, I'm still coaching, except nobody's listening to me anymore. Nobody can hear me on TV.
You still okay. You want them couch. You want them couch coaches, right? You on the couch.
Yes, we've had a lot of post-game conversations.
Me and you've had
backyard.
Me and you've had many in the backyard. some late nights of just fury and anger. And Michelle's like, they're just at it again, you know. Michelle, let me ask you this. Okay. You see it, you raise your girls, and I've watched how you raise your girls. I mean, when John was gone, when I'm gone, we're traveling, he's coaching, etc. You still, you know, you were working full time, you know, the medical industry and healthcare and as a nurse. How was that raising a daughter? When did you know that, okay, Abby's got some talent? When did it hit you? And you both, I'll give you both a chance to answer this. Michelle, you go first. When did it hit you when you really knew this, like, yeah, she's kind of has a gift?
I don't remember how old she was, but I do remember John coming to me and being like, I think Abby has some talent to play in college. And I kind of thought, like, I try to stay humble. And I remember thinking, yeah, you've got your dad glasses on. You're kind of just, you know, like you're not seeing it with an objective eye.
I never heard that one before.
Yeah. And then a couple years later, he's like, I think she could play D1. And again, I was like, really? I don't know. I mean, I like to think that I don't even like to think that I was an athlete. I was not an athlete in high school. So I don't know what it takes to be a D1 athlete. So, you know, John was saying, yeah, I think she's got something. And then, you know, these things started happening. And I was like, wow, that's pretty awesome. But I would say Abby wasn't one that was recruited. At the time she grew up, some of the kids her age started getting recruited in like 8th and 9th grade.
Goodness.
And Abby was not one of those. And she worked her tail off. And, you know, by the time she was a sophomore and junior, then she was really hitting her stride. And that's when, you know, I could tell that, oh, this is exciting. She's got people looking at her and she's got the work ethic. She's going to do this.
Michelle, to piggyback off that before we go to John, there were kids that were getting recruited in 8th grade. She's not one of them. She worked hard. And folks, I can tell you firsthand, I'd be out in our living room, and I'd look out that big bay window, or I'd be on the deck, and there was a net that you had back there, Abby. And I would see you hitting that thing over and over and over. And I would see John have that bucket of balls. He'd have that chair, and he'd just be throwing to you different ways. And I mean, this is years.
Yeah.
That's why even when I share around the country the athletes, I use Abby as an example. And I've been saying this, you got to have Abby work ethic. They're like, who the heck is Abby? You know, and I shared that story, you know, and I've been sharing that even before she got to Nebraska, the success you had at Southwest. A lot of young athletes, there's some athletes that say they want it, but their actions show differently. A lot of people love the prizes and they love the spoils. And I always say, but they don't like the toils. Though that home run that you hit yesterday, clear to Waverly, basically, that wasn't done just last night.
Yeah.
That was years of preparation when no one was watching. I seen you do it when it was cold outside, when it was hot outside, when everybody else at the pool. Now, you took time to hang out, but you had your priorities straight. Lots of people love the spoils of success. They don't like the toils, though, when no one's watching. And I always say you have to be willing to work in the dark in order to shine in the light. That home run yesterday was done in the dark many times, over and over and over and over. It happened to be on TV yesterday.
Yeah.
But you've done it thousands of times.
Yeah.
Thousands and thousands of times when you saw it. So, Michelle, let me ask you this to kind of pick you up off that. Was there any time that you may say to yourself, man, is she pushing too hard? Did you ever feel that way? Not from you and John, but just from yourself.
I mean, I guess in the back of my mind, I did. I don't know that I voiced that, but you know, Abby has always had her eye on her goal. And, you know, whether that means not going out with friends or going out with friends and coming home early because she had practice early the next morning, things like that. But, you know, she has fun on the field.
Yeah.
And so, you know, going out and doing, I'm going to call it what normal high school kids do, that wasn't important to her. She was working hard, and that's how she has fun, and she reaps the rewards when she does well. She was always in a game or
always dialed
participating.
in.
Yeah.
Absolutely. John, what would you say? When did you realize that, okay, Abby has a gift? You took your dad glasses off, and you being a coach for many years, being an athlete, understand it. So you could also see with your dad glasses, like, yeah, she ain't got it. But you you realize something because you've been scouting talent for a long time in various sports. When did it hit you as like, she's got a gift and I think she could play D1? When did it hit you to the point till you shared it with Michelle?
Yeah, the D1 thing came later. I do remember just, little things, throwing balls to her, footballs.
Mm-hmm.
She'd catch it. She could run routes when she's not even kindergarten yet. She could run over bags and rope ladders like some of my high school offensive linemen could. And so I knew she had some ability. She was explosive and had good feet and loved it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest thing.
Exactly.
And it was probably 8th grade. It was. I kind of remember she had started with a friend walking over from Scott Middle School over to Southwest and lifting in the spring. And a lot of the weight room was pretty empty. Well, it was Terry Burks.
Coach Burks. Yep.
Coach
Terry.
Burks.
Yep.
And and his daughter. So he would have them walk over and take them up to the weight room and taught them how to lift. And they enjoyed it and they found some success there. And her body kind of made a transformation and
big transformation.
Yeah. And so I remember having a conversation with her. I don't know if Abby would remember this, but I said, you have some ability but if you really want this, it comes with the price. It doesn't just happen. And these are some of the things you're going to have to do. Some of my kids that I coached over the years had played college football, and I just knew how they were made and what they had to do. And she loved that part of it, the work part. So I don't think you talk about it being toil, but for Abby, I think it really enjoyed it. I remember going on Friday nights when she was in high school, we'd go over to a hitting cage. Everybody else was out doing things, and she'd rather just stay home and go hit balls in a tunnel somewhere. And that was relaxing to her. And I think she enjoyed it. I love that time I had with her. I wouldn't trade it for anything at this point.
We're going to take a break to pay some bills. You're here with Riffin and Raff, with Raff and AD, and we have the Squires here with us today. John, we'll come back to that question. Friday nights in a batting cage. We'll be right back.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on.
Your first alert weather forecast tonight. Rain moves in, switching to snow overnight. Lows right around 28, northwest winds gusting to 30. Partly cloudy skies warming up on Thursday, not as windy. Highs right around 50. I'm NTV Chief Forecaster Ken Fountain for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Every time the back door closes, it squeaks and reminds me of how I used to go out back for a cigarette 2-3 times a day when I was stressed, when I was hungry, when I was bored. But then I think of how the stale taste lingered in my mouth, and I reach into my purse and pop a stick of gum. And the craving is gone.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Have you ever wanted to build a catapult? Have you ever wanted to launch something other than water balloons with a water balloon launcher? Do you want to be a national champion? Then you need to get a team and sign up for the National Avocado Launching Championship, May 21st in North Platte. That's right, the National Avocado Launching Championship is taking place right here in Nebraska. Launch avocados for fame and glory. Sign up at avocadolaunching.com. That is avocadolaunching.com. And remember, the top prize is $5,000.
Fruitcakes are just for Christmas, right? Gosh, I feel sorry for you. I mean, what if we had done that with bacon? Bacon is only for breakfast. We'd never have bacon cheeseburgers. We'd never be able to save a salad by adding bacon bits. We'd never have Brinner. That's breakfast for dinner. Don't limit yourself. Fruitcakes for St. Patrick's Day. Fruitcakes for graduation. Fruitcakes for Thursday. Beatrice Bakery and Grandma's Fruitcakes are perfect for every occasion. Check them out in downtown Beatrice or online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
These days, there are more reasons than ever to treat yourself to a great haircut at Great Clips with the online check-in app. So tell us, why do you check in?
I check in because I'm tired of hat hair. I check in because we all need a cut.
I check in so I can feel like me.
And I check in so I look good for you.
No matter why you check in, you'll check out with a great haircut and save time with our online check-in app. Great Clips. It's going to be great.
Mike Schaefer here for Trek CBD. Springtime is here, and that means you're outside more in nice weather and maybe even having garage parties with neighbors. The drink of this spring and summer isn't your typical seltzer. It's drinkable Delta 8. Yep, Trek CBD has drinkable Delta 8 seltzers with mango and lime flavors for 4-packs and 12-packs, coming in a variety of mango, watermelon, lime, and berry. They also have hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups to put in your beverages, and as always, the excellent Delta 8 gummies. Trek CBD, CBD done right.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop. But you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at wingstop.com.
Order online now from the new Wingstop located at 5001 O Street.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batsterats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
Are you tired of lousy internet and faceless customer service? It's time to experience local, honest, hassle-free, and exceptional. That's the Allo Promise. We not only provide crazy fast fiber internet, crystal clear TV, and dependable phone service, but we choose to become a part of the communities that we serve and love when everyone calls or stops by our store to say hello. So don't settle for mediocre, settle for exceptional with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/local.
Now back to Riffin with Raff and AD on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, we're back here on this Wednesday night, the quickest 2 hours of the week, Riffin with Raff and AD. We're joined here by the Squire family. Abby, I'm going to ask a question now.
What do you got?
All right. So, playing softball, University of Nebraska.
Yeah.
Where did your love of softball come from? Usually,
good question.
Was there somebody you saw, a game or something? Or like for me personally, like I enjoyed baseball, but my dad played men's softball forever and ever growing up. And I really could have cared less much about high school baseball. I was ready to turn 19 so I could play men's softball, play softball with my dad. I was just wondering, is it something that sparked you or?
That's actually a good question. Growing up, I thought basketball was my favorite sport. Like it was just super competitive and fast paced. But I spent my summers playing softball. And then I think once I got to high school, I really just started to love the game, and I don't think there's anything. It wasn't as televised as it is now, and so growing up, I didn't get to watch it a lot, other than like maybe the World Series, like championship. But it's growing, and more of it's on TV now. But yeah, I don't know. I think just I love the game. So
when you were like back in high school, I assume you were playing on a bunch of traveling teams and stuff like that. How many games a summer would you usually play?
Oh, I don't even know. Do you have a guess?
Probably 80 to 100, I would guess.
Yeah, it was a lot. Yeah.
Because you guys were gone a lot.
We were gone a lot. Yeah. And I played on a club out of Iowa. So we would kind of, I would go up there like every other week for practice on a Sunday. And then for tournaments, we just meet up and play wherever. It was usually in the Midwest for the most part. But yeah, a lot of games.
AD?
I'm going to say something real fast. Doak, thanks for the picture. There are black cowboys. I'm very aware of that. Doak Ostergaard, who we're definitely going to have on the show very soon. He sent me that picture when I talked about Cowboys. No, I do have some books on Buffalo Soldiers, so we'll get to that. But Doak, I appreciate that. You got to love Doak, man. First of all, for all the former Huskers, of course, with sport, Doak was like the ultimate big brother for all of us. So, brother, I love you, man. Tell that amazing wife of yours hello. Abby, John, you mentioned this. Friday nights, when everybody was doing their thing, you were in the cages hitting all sorts of pitches coming at you. Did you ever have FOMO, fear of missing out? Did that ever creep in your head sometimes? Or were you just kind of like, no, I'm good?
A little bit, but I also just love playing softball. So
You love the game.
yeah, it was fun for me. Quality time, you know. Yeah.
Right.
Well, and I think too, when Abby was asking the question about when did you really fall in love with it or whatever, we've been very blessed to have been on teams with great families and great kids.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't always get that with the types
Selected.
of teams.
Yes,
that she's
very
been on.
competitive.
You know, really grateful with the Locos program. He was very selective about who he let on, and he wanted the family culture to fit with our culture, even if, you know, he would pass up a really great athlete if their family didn't fit with the culture of the team. And so she was matched and playing with young women who were very like-minded as her. And so it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
Sure, I'll spend the Friday evening with my softball teammates because they're awesome kids.
Yeah, they were fun. I was lucky. I like every high school team I played on was great. I still have a bunch of friends from that team. My club teams were good. My college teams are good. Like I've met the best friends I have today from softball. So,
Michelle and John, tell me this. Was it tough for you guys not to put, I asked this basically before, like I'm going to switch a little bit. Did you ever witness parents to where you're thinking that is exactly what we don't want to be towards raising her in athletics? Because you have a lot of parents that live vicariously through their kids.
Well, they had this next door neighbor, and he had two. Oh no, sorry,
John. That's them. No, got a break. Pay some bills.
I think we saw that with other teams.
Yeah.
But I honestly can say the teams that we have been a part of, luckily we just haven't seen that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've seen the damage that can do, not only to the young ladies,
to the relationships,
but the team itself. I mean, so many of I don't know about high school so much, but definitely the club thing. I think parents pay their money, pay their fees, and it's not cheap. And they expect their kid to play and be on the field all the time and be the star.
Yep.
And when you got a bunch of kids that are all D1 kids, that's not going to happen. And, you know, the teams that it really never happened with ours, but I've seen others that, you know, when parents started thinking that there was, we'll pay our fees, but there's strings attached, and that means my kid's playing, or you're just a bad coach, or this is a bad team, or that girl's not as good as you. And some of those conversations that probably happen with their daughter, those kids hear that, and it's just impossible to raise a good teammate. And
absolutely,
I don't think Abby ever heard that from us. And I saw it that way more than parents treating their kids terrible. But I'm sure it happens, but not around the ones we did. We, like I said, and like Abby said, we at Iowa Premier, when we were with them, gosh, how many kids are playing in the Big Ten right now that were on your team? Several.
I think one of my Iowa Premier teammates are almost on each of the Big Ten teams.
Wow. A lot of Big Ten teams. Wow. So yeah. I know she enjoys seeing them now, but they were great teammates, like-minded, good kids, hard workers, and they had great parents. So yeah, we, like Michelle said, we're really lucky that way.
Well, I seen it firsthand for 17 years of how you guys raised her in a way that was, you're going to earn it. Nothing's going to be given to you. You're going to earn this. And I never seen you, John or Michelle, yelling at her, you got to get out here. No, it was, this is something she wants. She's going to work. Now we're going to be there to support her, but we're not going to be forcing her to do something she doesn't want to do. That's when you get guys like, Todd Maranovich, the former quarterback.
Yep, Todd Maranovich.
And there's, it was the ballyhooed quarterback. Horrible relationship with his father because how he raised, just forced him into that. What's the golfer's name? PGA guy. Oh, there was a big story about 5 years ago that he's real tight with his wife's parents, but doesn't talk to his own parents because they were just so on him so much as a kid. I'll have to look it up. But anyway, the whole synopsis is you guys raised her in a healthy environment to where she can compete, but it's going to have to be because you want it, not because of us. Abby, let me ask you this. What was the toughest loss you suffered in high school as a softball player?
The toughest loss?
Mm-hmm.
I would say my sophomore year in the state championship, we lost at Papillion. So that stung. And we got smacked too. It was not a close game.
They beat y'all like y'all stole something. I remember you came home to the house. I was like, I ain't saying that to Abby right now. She got that bat still in her hand. You know what I'm saying?
No. We got smacked.
I was like, you guys play the Dodgers?
Yeah, no.
What did you learn from that though?
Just to get back to work and you know, it is a game, but I don't know. I think fast forward a year, we played Papio again in the state finals and we lost in the first round and then came up through the losers bracket and ended up beating them twice, which was their only 2 losses in like 3 seasons. So I think we had a little
you had a chip on the shoulder.
Chip on our shoulder, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Just to get back to work, I'd say.
You know, I like what you mentioned, get back to work. You know, and our next guest is coming up at 8 o'clock is Corey Dixon, former wing back for Nebraska. Talk about a bad taste when we lost. Let me take that back. We got cheated by Florida State.
There was no clipping.
Thank you, John. Thank you. And I know all the listeners in Nebraska would agree with that. Not so much in Tallahassee, but they do in Nebraska.
They might even agree down there, too. But they're not giving the ring back.
I'm like, he ain't lying. You know? So, Abby, you won that. It made you get back to work. You worked harder. So you have this, like I said, I read some of your stats, just unbelievable high school, just overall success, etc. What was the toughest part about transitioning to college, though? Because in high school at Southwest, you're all-state, you're super state, you're team captain, all these accolades. But you get to Nebraska, everyone is good. What happened? When did it happen when you realized, I ain't at Lincoln Southwest no more?
Yeah.
When was that? When did that take place?
Well, I think in your first practice, you walk in there and you see people hitting. Like our seniors, we had Tristan Edwards. She's a phenomenal hitter. You walk in your individual, you're like, oh my gosh, like do I even belong here? But one thing I've learned is like you can't compare your first year to someone else's 4th or 5th.
Gosh, the wisdom.
So much is like even me this year compared to last year. Like I've learned so much. But yeah, right off the bat, I learned that I wasn't all that. So yeah, it was pretty quick.
Was there someone there? Because like I said, you walk in there and you're seeing Tristan hit the ball. You're just going, good gosh, even the way it sounds different. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a huge connoisseur of knowing the ins and outs of softball and baseball, but I know someone who hit the ball and it sounds different. It's like in golf. My ball sounds like it's dead. All right. John and Raff and those guys said it's like, okay, plus especially your dad. It's not even fair. But you can tell that difference right away. Who took you under their wing, if you would, and just kind of showed you the ropes? And maybe they don't even know it. But who did you kind of look up to and model your practice habits and your mannerisms and your time management and how you spent time in the weight room, etc.? Who was that person or persons that you looked up to that kind of showed you the ropes?
I think on the Nebraska team, it was Tristan, just the way she handled herself. She's like such a great human being and player, and just how she went about her daily life. I kind of tried to take after her. Yeah, she was awesome.
Okay.
All right. So, you're talking about, I had a question, kind of stole it from me. That's okay. But from year 1 to year 2, you said the transition, it's been a difference for you. So is softball kind of like football, like they always say, like a quarterback his first year, everything's moving a million miles, going really fast. Have you felt the game like slow down for you this year? Or just a different feel for you, I guess, in general?
Yeah, for sure. I think I remember my freshman fall, we played, since COVID, we didn't play other teams, but we played like squad scrimmages. And I was like, I can't see the ball. Like I'm at the plate and I was like, it was a rough fall, but we have these machines called hack attacks. We call them hacky, and we dialed those hackies up to 70, and then now it feels like the ball, everything just slows down. So yeah, I would say
Hold
that.
up, 70 like miles per hour.
Yeah,
I'm ducking.
Yeah,
And that's
I'm ducking, dog.
and that's 70 from up close too, right? So does that?
It's pretty equivalent to the actual pitch.
All right.
So how far is the plate from where you're hitting at?
43 feet. Yeah.
Nah, bro.
No.
I think 70 is equivalent to like 10 something in baseball.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, that'll really slow the pitch down when you go back to the regular game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When you couldn't see the ball, that was during fall ball time, right?
Mhm.
And that was during COVID. You just kind of inter squad scrimmages.
Yeah. It was when we were kind of shut down.
And that was your freshman year.
Yeah.
Abby, let me ask you this, because guys, both of the boys that you grew up with too. I seen just the mental stress, doing everything remote, online. You guys had to move back home. How did that impact you psychologically as an athlete? How did you still keep dialed in when everything was shutting down? And really, I feel sorry for especially that freshman class going to college. You expect this huge change, you're on your own, and all of a sudden you're moving back home. You're like, whoa, this ain't part of the script.
Yeah.
Do you think being an athlete helped you adjust to COVID more a little bit, just because you were used to change, you were used to discipline, and you were like, you know what, games change? Yeah. Or you were like, no, the heck with that, it was hard. How did you adjust with COVID as a student athlete?
I was just bored, during that. Yeah, I don't know. I think being an athlete probably did help, but yeah, I would say more than anything, I was just bored. We were like taking the dogs for walks 3 times a day.
Those dogs were in great shape.
Yeah.
They are not anymore.
Not anymore. Folks, we're going to take a quick break. This is Riffin with Raff and AD, and we have Husker phenom softball player Abby Squire and our amazing parents, John and Michelle Squire. We'll be right back. We're going to pay some bills.
Hi, welcome to Big Chain Bar and Grill. Can I get you a drink? Which game were you hoping to see? Doesn't matter. I don't know what channel the game's on anyway. Are you ready to order? Okay, here's your check. Come back and see us again, okay?
What?
Hey, welcome back into Upside.
Slow down and enjoy the game at the Upside Bar and Lounge. Comfortable seating, plenty of screens, a great food and drink menu, and no one trying to shove you out the door. Come in, hang out, and take it all in at the Upside Bar and Lounge, open daily just east of 27th and Pine Lake.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric always makes safety a top priority for our home and office. In under just 1 hour, their team installed the state-of-the-art air scrubber system directly into our existing HVAC ductwork. This technology purifies the air and reduces exposure to common bacteria and viruses, creating a safer breathing environment for my family. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Today on Hey Culligan, why does your team stink? Here's Coach Waters.
Hey Culligan, yeah, my team stinks.
Ooh, harsh.
No, I mean they stink. They won't hit the showers because it makes their skin all dry and itchy.
Coach, it sounds like your guys have been hit hard by hard water.
You kidding me? Hard water?
Yep, so let's call an audible in the form of one Culligan Smart High Efficiency Water Softener to get the smooth back in their skin and the stink out of your team.
Okay, Culligan, I'm putting you in.
Coach, we're already on the way.
Go to CulliganLincoln.com and schedule your free water test today.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop. But you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at wingstop.com.
Order online now from the new Wingstop, located at 5001 O Street.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill has 2 Lincoln locations that are great for any occasion. If you're downtown for a basketball game or a concert, stop by their newest spot at 10th and P. Don't forget to check out their social media pages to learn about any concerts on stage at Rosie's. If you want to avoid a busy downtown scene, head over to the original Rosie's just south of 14th and Highway 2 for a feeling of your local hometown bar. There's plenty of TVs at both places and great food and drink. What are you waiting for? Rosie Sports Bar and Grill at 10th and P and on South 14th Street.
These days, there are more reasons than ever to treat yourself to a great haircut at Great Clips with the online check-in app. So tell us, why do you check in?
I check in because I'm tired of hat hair.
I check in because we all need a cut.
I check in so I can feel like me.
And I check in so I look good for you.
No matter why you check in, you'll check out with a great haircut and save time with our online check-in app. Great clips. It's going to be great.
Fruitcakes are just for Christmas, right? Gosh, I feel sorry for you. I mean, what if we had done that with bacon? Bacon is only for breakfast. We'd never have bacon cheeseburgers. We'd never be able to save a salad by adding bacon bits. We'd never have Brinner. That's breakfast for dinner. Don't limit yourself. Fruitcakes for St. Patrick's Day. Fruitcakes for graduation. Fruitcakes for Thursday. Beatrice Bakery and Grandma's Fruitcakes are perfect for every occasion. Check them out in downtown Beatrice or online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $22.07 per hour and other select jobs starting at $23.77 per hour, with wages growing up to $29.71 per hour. Continental also has salaried jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Listening to this Allstate commercial about savings might be the hardest thing about getting those savings. Save for simply becoming an Allstate customer. Save more for adding DriveWise. And save even more for driving safely. Visit allstate.com or contact your local agent for a quote today. Allstate. Minimum effort, maximum reward.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. Drive-bys is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
You knew the risks when you decided to drive drunk. There could be a crash. People could get hurt or killed. But that didn't stop you, did it? You knew you could get arrested. You could incur huge legal expenses. And you could possibly even lose your job. You were well aware of the consequences of driving drunk. But one thing's for sure, you were wrong when you said it was no big deal. Drive sober or get pulled over. This message brought to you by NHTSA.
Now back to Riffin with Raff and AD on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back again on this Wednesday night. Riffin with Raff and AD is coming to you live. All right, me again for another amazing question. But before I ask that question, I got to break a little bit of news right now. Bruce Arians is retiring. Todd Bowles will be the new head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yes.
So I've got to believe Tom Brady had a little say in that because I heard there was kind of a rift between him and Bruce. And so they said, you'll go work in the front
And we ain't talking about riffing with Raff and AD. He had a serious riff.
It was a riff.
With Arians. I just seen that on Twitter. I was like, wow.
So talking about head coaches, what is it like to play for Rhonda Revelle? She's, I believe, the second longest tenured coach down there, maybe number one now, but I think is Pepin still there? I think is the track coach. I believe.
I think you're right.
So I think Pepin's one, she's two, but what is it like playing for her? And do you have any, like maybe any funny stories that you might have that you could tell over on radio?
Well, I love playing for Coach Revelle. She has so much just wisdom. And I mean, yeah, she's been there forever. So it's fun to hear about all the memories. And we watched, before the season started, we were watching like hype videos from like the 2013 team. And it's fun. There's a lot of history. So yeah.
Awesome. And then I was kind of doing my homework and stuff like that. Do you have any like aspirations after you finish your college career? I see there's a new women's professional softball league starting. I was wondering, is that something you might want to do in the future?
I've thought about it. I really don't know, honestly. I'm not sure. Potentially.
You can sneeze on the radio, Michelle. It's all right. It's okay. It's all right.
And then one more. I'm asking all the great questions now. It's the way I roll now.
Oh, yeah.
What is your major and what do you want to do when you finish college?
My major's finance, and I don't really know what I want to do.
She wants to make money.
Yeah.
Cash.
As Rashawn would say, money.
Yeah.
So finance?
Yeah. Yeah, I like numbers, so that's probably what I went.
She likes home run numbers.
Yeah. Home run. Abby, how many home runs do you have this year?
I have 5.
5. Man, I didn't have 5 home runs even on video game again. I mean, 5 home runs. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this point. You had one heck of a catch. Was that last week?
At Michigan.
At Michigan.
I did have one at Michigan.
At Michigan. And you guys beat them too, didn't you?
Yeah, we did.
There's nothing like beating Michigan either.
Yeah.
Because they talk so much trash on them up there about how bad Nebraska's doing. And I just smile. I don't say nothing because they haven't paid me my check yet for speaking. So I just have to smile and just take it in.
Well, and I think it's fun to note too that Nebraska has never won at Michigan before.
Are you serious?
They took 2 last weekend.
Abby, congrats to you and your teammates on that. So it
Yeah,
never
it was
beat
fun.
Michigan before at Michigan.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a series or a game. I feel like they've won a game there, but yeah, on Michigan's home field. That was what they said. So
You know, John asked, and congrats on that too. I mean, I think this is the first for a lot. John mentioned, I'm sorry, Chris was talking about, culture and playing for Coach Reville. You've been on a number of different teams. What do you think separates the culture? Because you guys are doing pretty dang good right now. You guys are on a pretty hot streak. You got Rutgers coming in for a 3-game contest Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. In fact, real fast, what time are those games Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
Oh, Lord.
5:30.
I know what time I warm up. I know.
They start
I know
after
what time-
batting practice, AD.
We get a pregame meal. They bring over a nice pregame meal. I know what time that is, but I don't know what time the game starts.
Well, Michelle's finding those times. We want our listeners to definitely find that out and check that out because I think the weather is supposed to be halfway decent. Michelle, what time does that start this weekend?
5:30 on Friday, 1 on Saturday, and noon on Sunday.
5:30 on Friday,
1 on Saturday, and
noon on Sunday. And that's right here at the softball complex here at the University of Nebraska, which is an awesome complex. Abby, culture. Playing a lot of different teams. You played various sports. What do you think separates this team's culture compared to in years past? Not comparing them, but just why do you think you guys and you gals are so tightly knit right now? And it's showing on the field too.
Yeah. I think it actually goes back to our summer workouts. The kids who are here in Lincoln, Rusty's our strength coach. So shout out to Rusty.
There you go.
But he had some intense workouts and we went through together and it was fun. Like we were just talking today actually about running those stairs, stadium stairs.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was
AD never had to run stadium stairs.
Oh my God, it makes my
sure
stomach
not.
just turn thinking about it. Good gosh, yes.
So 2 days a week it was stadiums, or I think 1 day a week. Then we had a pool workout, and then a couple days a week we would do this circuit with sleds, and we got so much stronger and faster. But yeah, I think we just went through it together, but it was fun, and we just created a connection that through our workouts that has kind of translated over into the spring.
You know, Abby, it's when you mention that the summer workouts, the grueling workouts, the swimming, the circuits, the weights, the stadium stairs, sweat has an amazing way of bringing cohesiveness together. It's hard work because you remember those things. You know, when we got cheated by Florida State 93, we put up, I think it was 14 seconds or 17 seconds. I think it was 14 seconds we put on that scoreboard. So during winter conditioning, during summer conditioning, when it was freezing outside, when it was hot outside, we remembered how it felt, similar when you talked about a Papillion, how it felt to get cheated the way we did and it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. It was those workouts that galvanized the culture at Nebraska.
Yeah.
You're saying that's true for you guys and for you gals, softball team?
I would say it's true. And you just like look back on those times and like during it sucks. But then afterwards you can like joke about it. Like, remember that time we throwing up? Like, yeah. So it's fun. Yeah.
I've thrown up in East Stadium, South Stadium, North Stadium, and West Stadium, all of them. Because when you're doing those stairs, and you think about it, you know this. Did you ever run the stairs, Abby, and about halfway up, you started seeing little white dots?
Yeah. And I also know that when you get close to the top, they get bigger.
Yes.
They get bigger.
South Stadium.
Yes.
That is a true story.
The last 3 steps, my legs are shaking and I'm having to like throw myself up them.
You know what's funny about South Stadium? Me and your dad took you, you, Katie, Aiden, Keenan to the spring football game. And guess what? I got a call because that was the same day that Nia was born.
That's right. I remember.
No way.
So those stairs that you're running the conditioning on was the same stairs you guys were hanging out, messing around, and having fun as little toddlers. And I got the call. Aaron, you need to get home because I think Naya's going to be born right now.
AD's like, Brooke, we're going to finish the game first.
Priorities. It's all about the Big Red. Folks, this has been the quickest hour I could say, and it's also when it's family and it's good friends. Abby, I see you, and I still just want to go, who's a good little Abby? Who's a good little Abby? You know? And to hear you just talk and listen to you talk as a grown woman and as a D1 athlete, you're talking about Big Ten schools and home runs, literally as like an uncle to you, it brings me joy, and I love you, and I am so proud of you. John and Michelle, well done. Absolutely well done. Thank you for joining us on Riffin with Raff and AD. Folks, again, check out those games this weekend, 5:30 on Friday, 1 o'clock on Saturday, and 12 o'clock on Sunday.
Attaboy.
Go. I'm remembering. I'm not good with numbers, but my memory's not too bad. Usually my golf scores are that high too. So, but again, folks, thank you for joining us for this first hour. We wish you all the luck. We can't wait to see more. But love you guys, folks. We'll be back our next hour. We will have Corey Dixon, former Nebraska wingback and wideout, 1993 team, one of the fastest Huskers in all history. We're going to pay some bills. This was Riffin with Raff and AD. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Maximize your savings with Bryant. Bryant offers efficient heating and cooling system options to help you save on your monthly utility bill. If you act now, their team will secure all available rebates to maximize your savings. Hurry, these rebates are for a limited time only. Call Bryant. Ask for a free estimate to save and improve your comfort. 467-1111. Online at BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great. We're
definitely coming back.
Sure.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Did you know that the U.S. has added over 1,100 new breweries in the last 18 months? Learn more by shopping at Myers Cork and Bottle, 13th and South, and by tuning into Thirsty Thursdays with Kevin Myers, because sports are better with a drink in your hand and a friend at your side.
Hey, Ticket listeners, it's Cristiano Simonetta, the voice of the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and I for Outside the Box every Tuesday from 8 to 9 p.m. talking Stars, hockey, and more. Outside the Box every Tuesday from 8 to 9 p.m.
We all make choices about alcohol. Kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad. Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Hey, remind me about that party again?
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations, and they want honest answers in everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path.
Sponsored by DHHS and aired in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Have you ever wanted to build a catapult? Have you ever wanted to launch something other than water balloons with a water balloon launcher? Do you want to be a national champion? Then you need to get a team and sign up for the National Avocado Launching Championship, May 21st in North Platte. That's right, the National Avocado Launching Championship is taking place right here in Nebraska. Launch avocados for fame and glory. Sign up at avocadolaunching.com. That is avocadolaunching.com. And remember, the top prize is $5,000.
If you're worried your friend may be struggling, remember, you don't have to be there to be there.
You can say how are you or get a fake tattoo. You can ask with an app if it works for you. You could write them a text or knit them a sweater. If you can't be together, you could write them a letter. Whatever gets you talking. Whatever gets you talking. You could could chat on the game, kick off your flip-flops. You can ask on your couch while you binge watch. However you do it, you gotta ask a friend. And if they don't share, you can ask again.
Whatever gets you talking. Whatever gets you talking.
Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheopera.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and the JED Foundation.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding.
Whoa!
Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Woohoo! Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Nebraska Army National Guard. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association at this station.
Welcome to Riffin with Raff and AD. Coming to you live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Now here's former Huskers, Chris Raff and Aaron Davis.
Here again on this Wednesday night, Riffin with Ralph and AD. What a great first hour that was, AD. What an amazing family.
Man, you know, it was family. You know, like I said, I've known John and Michelle, John in particular, since we were in junior high school, and his sister Ann as well. And his parents were in education for years. Just good people, man. So it's always a blessing where you see your friends' kids be successful in their endeavors, man. And Abby and their older sister as well, Katie, their oldest daughter, is doing well, graduated last year, is working in Omaha now in industry. And I'm just proud of those kids, man. I've seen the work ethic and the prices they've paid to be where they're at. And it's always brings your heart joy. That's for sure, man. That's for sure. Enjoyed it. Real quick, before we get Corey on, dude, that was a major change in Tampa Bay. In case you haven't heard, Graf, let them know that news, man.
Bruce Arians is moving up to the front office, and Todd Bowles, the defense coordinator, will be taking over the helm down there at Tampa Bay. And like we were saying, probably that rift between Tom Brady and Bruce Arians probably played a factor into that.
They won't say it, but we're not foolish either, man. We knew that when you're Tom Brady, people can say whatever they want, but, you know, the guy's got 7 rings. You know, he's going to come with some clout. You know, and simply saying, hey, you know what, we got a better relationship. He's upstairs and Todd Bowles down here. Things going smoothly. But I seen it on Twitter when we had Squires, and I was like, what? I was thinking it was like health-wise related.
Yeah.
Do you still think that could be a factor?
I don't think so. I think it
was personnel. I don't think it was.
I think earlier this week they were talking about the possibility that Tom Brady might be getting traded to Miami, and fully true, not sure, but usually I always say where there's a little smoke, there's probably a little bit of fire. So I'm guessing Tom was starting to rattle those trees a little bit down in Tampa Bay. And I forgot the owners of Tampa. How did I forget the owners of Tampa Bay? I see it in my head and I cannot think of the owners, but I'm sure the ownership said, you know, we've got to find a way to keep Tom here no matter what. And that ended up being what they ended up doing.
Well, I tell you what, before we get is Corey on there? Before we get Corey on, I'm going to give a shout out to the management here, you know, DP, Derek Pearson, for the swag. Raff, we got new hats, man.
I look good in this hat.
Dude, I don't think I've ever seen you in a hat.
Well, usually they're too small. This one fits like a glove. It's like,
dude, when you're 6'10", 2 or whatever, you ain't gonna find the easiest hats to get, brother.
Well, this one they did. It's perfect.
It looks good, man. DP, appreciate it, big dog. The management, thank you guys much for the swag. Carter, thank you for getting it to us. Folks, we have an absolute treat for you this evening for this next hour, which is going to go extremely fast. We have speaking of fast, one of the fastest Huskers to ever wear a Husker uniform. We have Corey Dixon. Corey Dixon, how you doing, big bro?
Man, I'm well. How about yourself?
Man,
Good to hear you.
Man, bro, you just sound like you came back from somewhere special and exotic.
Man, I tell you, hey, a much needed getaway, and man, I mean, it was beautiful. That was my first time over in Barbados with the wife, and man, we had a blast.
Barbados. My man didn't say he went to Brooklyn. He went to Barbados.
Yeah, much needed, well deserved, man, and it was a blessing to be there. You know, great experience.
How long did you guys stay there, man?
We did like a week. We was over there a week.
Mm-hmm. What was the weather like?
You know what? It was nice. I think, you know, she's still tan, and I think the high was probably around like 73, 76.
Man, that's perfect.
Nice
weather.
Breeze in the nighttime. You know, the ocean, the waves coming in. It was nice. Beautiful.
What'd you do while you were there? What was the funnest thing you did while you were in Barbados?
The funnest thing, I can tell you a good time. We went to the rum. I think they call it the rum shop, where you know you try all the rum.
Sounds delicious.
and man, I'm telling you, and I'm not a drinker, but I'm trying to tell you, that was a great time. I think I learned how to sip some rum or drink it or swallow it without a burn. I mean, I learned a lot.
You're gonna be opening one of those up down in Texas, right?
Yeah. Hey, I'm telling you, man, we had a blast.
That's good to hear, man.
It was nice.
Big bro, again, man, I can't tell how much I appreciate you coming on with us and just sharing with our evening crew. I know our little Husker brother VJ had you on, Rashawn had you on the Captain Show a few weeks back, and I enjoyed listening. In fact, about a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months ago, when you were on there, I know it was downtown listening at a coffee shop when I was working, man, and just listening to do that, I was like, I want to get him off so the evening folks can hear more about your story. Corey, let me ask you this, man, and I know you hear this all the time. And our past guest, John Squire, a very good.
Should we just let him guess what you're going to say next?
Yeah, let me go and guess. What do you think the question is going to be? What do you think we'll ask you, Corey?
What you think? About the return, the block in the back, or the no call, or whatever you call it.
Yeah,
I know that's a haunted situation. I mean, that's a nightmare on Husker Street.
Oh man,
is what I call it.
Corey, I've asked Coach Osborne was on the show with Rashawn, those guys, a couple weeks ago, and I've asked Coach this a number of times. And Coach, you know how laid back Coach Osborne is. I said, Coach, have you found a clip yet? And he says, well, AD, I've watched that thing several times, and I still can't find one.
And I talked to plenty of refs, a lot of refs, man, and they say they know that crew that ref the game, and man, I mean, we still can't find it. I mean, I don't know the ref's name.
Right.
I think some of the guys that I deal with, they know him, but they won't tell me who he is. Not like I'm gonna go after him like that, but I just want to know. I just want to know,
See, Corey,
were you nervous?
Right. I don't think a lot of fans know that you officiate games now. How did you get started with that?
Well, DeJuan Gross and Michael Booker.
Mm-hmm.
Those brothers are out here, and the one got started would always tell me to come out. And I was like, I don't want to wear the stripes. I talk about the stripes, even though they're good guys. I talk about them. I give them a hard time. But, I think he was telling me it was good to be out on the field again and kind of, call some games, learn the rules, and be next to the guys on the field. And I did that, man. And I'm telling you, I'm having a blast. And, it takes some getting used to, being an athlete, and you out there kind of learning the rules, being on the other side of it. So, but those guys got me out there and learning the rules, and man, it's been nice. And I can see how some guys can make mistakes. but I don't make them kind of mistakes.
On a national championship game at that, big bro.
Yeah, not that one. You don't make that.
No, you can't make that one, man. And when you hear Tyrone Williams talk about, have you talked to Freaky T about this, man? Tyrone Williams?
No, we, every time I try to catch up with T. Will, man, he's always busy, and we miss each other. But
Yeah,
I
man.
hadn't got a chance to talk to him about it.
Oh, bro, because he'll have you in stitches. Because apparently it was on him. Again, what they said was on him. Or I know what it on
Right.
K-Moss. They said it was on him. My man had his hands in the air, not even close to touching a person on the field.
Didn't even touch him at all.
Didn't touch him at all.
I
He
don't
didn't
know
need to.
What angle the referee had, but that was. I mean, I wish we had replay, but I don't know if that would have worked back in our time. But man, that show was a costly penalty.
Corey, this was probably probably 8 years ago, give or take, man. I was speaking down in Tallahassee for a corporate group, and man, they was sure give me the business about 93 game. Yeah, we beat y'all. We beat you. And I said, you know what? And I was telling them, big bro, they popping off at the mouth. And like I told them in the first hour, I didn't get my check yet, so I couldn't really say nothing back. So
right.
But after I got that check, man, I was talking big trash, bro. I was like, not only can y'all not find the clip, I said William Floyd scored with no ball in his hand.
With no ball in his hand.
Ball in his hand. I mean,
it's crazy.
Corey, when you look at that, we should be national champions 93, 94, and 95. But it hurts, but such is life. Folks, if you want to call in for any questions or any text, you can call on the Honda of Lincoln hotline. That's 402-464-5685, the Starter Heyman text line. Give us a call. Leave a text message. Raff, go ahead. I know you got a question for him, too.
Hey, Corey, this is Raff. Just quick question. Let's go back to your high school days. I saw that you ran a 10-1-100 in high school and a 20.7 200. Was track your sport in high school, or were you football then track, or how did that play out for you there when you're in high school?
Yeah, football was always the number one sport, and track was just something that I kind of got into when I first started high school. I started playing football back in '78. And believe it or not, I think my first year out there on the field, I always had speed, but the coach didn't. I was small, and he wouldn't let me play. And I had some older friends of mine would always say, Coach Differy, put him in. And he finally put me in the game, and there was no looking back. So, and I was always, I think I played every position on the field besides center guard or tackle. I was an end. I played quarterback, running back, cornerback. I was all over the field. And once I got to track, I could always run. My mom was fast. My dad could run. And once I got to high school, one of the varsity coaches seen me because I was kind of running around with the seniors and I was running routes or racing, and he fell in love with me my freshman year. And that's where I got in as far as running track. And believe it or not as well, I went 10-1-9 and still got second. Guy came and caught me at the tape, and he went 10-0-9.
Corey, you run a 10-1-9 and still came in second.
Still came in second. I'm telling you, I got out the block so fast, and I was running down lane 4 and didn't see nobody near me, behind me until I got to the tape. I saw a guy by the name of Newsom, I think, out of Tyler, John Tyler, and his knee was right with my head leaning across the tape, and they gave it to him.
So did they watch that at that time? So that was not like something, because they had was it AccuTrack they used to watch that on? Did they have that on video, or they just called it? They just seen it like with the naked eye?
Yeah, they just seen it with the naked eye.
Do you think for sure he beat you? Were you pretty sure he beat you on that one?
It's hard to say. From when we're talking track, I thought I won. But the way he ran is kind of almost like if you remember how Eric Dixon used to run.
Yeah.
Knees up high.
Mm-hmm.
And coming down that lane, man, he had to chase me. He had to catch me because I'm telling you, I got out the blocks. I got out the blocks, right with the gun, and I was gone. And what they did was I was actually in a smaller school. I was in 4A, and this heat that they put me in was the 5A. All the speedsters in Texas was at this meet, and they said, Corey Dixon, you would not run, with your class. You're gonna run with the big class. And I stepped back, and if you look up in the stands, you could see everybody passing money around. All bets is going on. You can look up in the stands about money being talked. And I tell you, and I was geeked and excited, and I'm telling you, I shot down that track, and that was my fastest time. Of course, that same year at state, I think, I don't know if you guys ever heard of a guy named Henry Neal, but he went like 9.99 on the clock in state that year.
In high school?
In high school, man. He's telling you.
That's AD type speed right there.
No, I could run a 9.99, but I have about 20 yards left to go still. We all run 9.99 eventually. It's just where we still got to go.
Yeah. So, those were some times. So, yeah, but track, and when I got to college, I didn't run until, the coach used to try to get me out there, and I was like, nah, I need the ball. I need the football, And my junior year, I think
Coach Pepin?
Me and Tyrone went on out there and helped with the sprint relay, and just to give the guys, the squad, some points at the Big 8 meet. And I think we were in Oklahoma. We finally ran, and this was my first 100 in years since I was a senior in high school. And I didn't run well my senior year because I was kind of, senioritis. I had already committed to Nebraska, and I'm like, what's the use? I'm just here. But I ran my junior year, and I think in my heat, when I won my heat, I was like, y'all let me win my heat, and I hadn't ran in years.
Wow.
What's this? This not supposed to happen. And I think in the finals, I think I got like fourth. But just looking at that, saying if I would have trained for it, man, I'd have been a beast at it.
Well, Corey, you think about this, man. Like you mentioned, if something you hadn't run in years, 3-4 years, those guys that beat you in the finals and still coming in fourth, they do that every day.
Every day. Yeah.
Every day. That'd be equivalent to them trying to come play football and catch passes like you catch when you do it every single day. So for you to still be able to place fourth, that shows the pure amount of speed that you had. Let me ask you this.
Right.
And growing up, how did you use your size to an advantage rather than a disadvantage? Because playing football, because as you know, especially back then we were playing, football is not a contact sport, it's a collision sport. Some of the hits that we got put on us in practice and you in games, you'd be kicked out. And probably for 2 or 3 games right now. Who was it? Mom, was it dad? Was the guys in the neighborhood? So growing up, who were you just always kind of a tough kid, or who gave you that edge because you were the smallest guy usually, but you always came with the punch? How did you develop that, just kind of that killer instinct and that just dogged will, if you would?
Yeah. Growing up, my best friends and my brothers, they were older. I think my best friend was 6 years older than me. So when you're talking, when I'm 6, he's 12. So I played with the 12-year-olds when I was 6.
Oh man!
And what they would do was just turn around and pitch me the ball, and they would block. We would go from street to street and play. And as I got older, they got older, and the guys that we would play against would really want to chase and tackle me for real. And I was kind of like, you have to catch me, and I would run and run for my life. And and I was strong. I used to lift weights, with those older guys, growing up, but I wasn't trying to just, be someone where I'm going to just be in the weight room to get all cut up. But I was actually strong. And I think back in playing in Little League, a lot of the guys would always say I was too old because I was a little guy, bright-skinned guy with a mustache. So he's too old, and then I could run and I was strong. So sometimes my coach would only put me in. I think he put me in, and I would score 3 touchdowns. He'd take me out.
Why'd he take you out?
Didn't want to run the clock up.
I see. I see.
Getting ready for Nebraska.
We had a lot of competition, a lot of talent, but I played with a lot of older guys, and that's where that stems from. Because you look at me coming out of high school, I was a running back. I was an I back. And that was what gave me, to look at Nebraska. I was like, I'm coming to Nebraska to play running back. And I tell the story all the time. And I got to Nebraska because Brown, you're gonna be a wing back. I'm like, okay, give me the ball. And our freshman year, we was out there, and Leotis Flowers was out there. Scotty Ball and Pat Tyrants hit Leotis Flowers so hard one time, man. And T.O. had his hand on my helmet to go in for the next play. I looked at him and said, I'm not ready for this. I'm not gonna get hit like that. Not me.
And Pat Tyrants would lay the wood out there, man.
Yeah, Pat Tyrants hit Leotis so hard, and then Reggie Cooper coming all up, and I'm like, nah, I ain't ready yet. I don't know. Y'all gotta give me
Hey,
not for that.
Corey, I tell you what, Doak Ostergaard, big bro Doak, man. Give Doak a shout out real quick, Corey.
Oh, what up, Doak? My man.
Doak sent me some information. He's always, because Doak knows he's like a walking encyclopedia. And I said in the last hour, the amount of time we put on, it was actually we would put after we lost that game in '93, big bro. That was your, obviously, unfortunately, your last year. We put 1 minute and 16 seconds up on that clock. I knew whether it was a 14 or 15, but it was 1 minute. I appreciate that, big bro Doak. 1 minute and 16 seconds, because that's how much time was in the game when we were actually winning that game. We should have won. And Doak also sent this, big bro. I didn't realize this. I knew you had a heck of a game, but Doak sent me these stats, and you were the Orange Bowl MVP, which was obviously a consolation, but I know you would have tossed that trophy in a heartbeat for a natty. But you had 5 receptions for 123 yards.
That was actually the year before, actually. That was 92.
Was that 92, Corey?
You had a 41-yard touchdown catch against Florida State, the 27-14 game.
Okay, yeah, that might have been the year before.
Year before. Yep, that was year before.
Because I had a few nice little catches that game too. I can't remember what the stats were that year.
That was 92.
93, you had 2 catches for 50 yards.
And then a touchdown, and then the punt return for, how long was that punt return, Corey?
Was it 76, I think?
71.
It was long.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was it was one of those. Because I think, is that for you? I think I had a few reverses too against those guys.
Yeah, you did.
We had big Will Shields out front blocking, so I had a decent set that game.
Absolutely. Big bro, we're going to take a quick timeout. We'll come back, folks, with more questions, more about the Nebraska days and what made really Corey Dixon as a player at Nebraska. You're with Riffin with Raff and AD. We're going to pay some bills. We'll be back with Corey Dixon, Husker legend.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $22.07 per hour, and other select jobs starting at $23.77 per hour, with wages growing up to $29.71 per hour. Continental also has salaried jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Today on Hey Culligan, why does your team stink? Here's Coach Waters.
Hey Culligan, yeah, my team stinks.
Ooh, harsh.
No, I mean they stink. They won't hit the showers because it makes their skin all dry and itchy.
Coach, it sounds like your guys have been hit hard by hard water.
You kidding me? Hard water?
Yep, so let's call an audible in the form of one Culligan Smart High Efficiency Water Softener to get the smooth back in their skin and the stink out of your team.
Okay, Culligan, I'm putting you in.
Coach, we're already on the way. Go to CulliganLincoln.com and schedule your free water test today.
This is Dan Friedman. Between 2010 and 2019, distracted driving caused more than 40,000 car crashes in Nebraska, resulting in over 14,000 severe injuries and deaths. Please keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Freedman Law Offices, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at freedmanlaw.com today.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Shopping for insurance can be a tedious and frustrating task, but the agents at Brokers Insurance Agency will do the work for you. They have partnered with over 20 of the best insurance carriers in the nation, which allows them to do the shopping all for you. Whether you're looking for business insurance or employee benefits for your company, or you're looking to save money on your home and auto insurance, Brokers Insurance Agency has the agents and solutions to help meet your goals. Call 402-420-5353 or email staff at brokersinsurancenE.com.
Hey, Ticket listeners, it's Cristiano Simonetta, the voice of the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and I for Outside the Box every Tuesday from 8 to 9 p.m. talking Stars hockey and more. Outside the Box every Tuesday from 8 to 9 p.m.
Listening to this Allstate commercial about savings might be the hardest thing about getting those savings. Save for simply becoming an Allstate customer. Save more for adding DriveWise. And save even more for driving safely. Visit Allstate.com or contact your local agent for a quote today. Allstate. Minimum effort, maximum reward.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. Drive-bys is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
You knew the risks when you decided to drive drunk. There could be a crash. People could get hurt or killed. But that didn't stop you, did it? You knew you could get arrested. You could incur huge legal expenses, and you could possibly even lose your job. You were well aware of the consequences of driving drunk. But one thing's for sure. You were wrong when you said it was no big deal. Drive sober or get pulled over. This message brought to you by NHTSA.
Now back to Riffin with Raff and AD on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, we're back here. Wednesday night, quickest 2 hours of the week. Riffin with Raff and AD. We're joined by Corey Dixon, one of the all-time great Nebraska players. Corey, so you're in high school. Nebraska comes down to recruit you. Kind of a two-part question. What other schools were looking at you, and who was sent down to be your recruiter when you were in high school from Nebraska?
Coming out of high school, I had Nebraska, Texas, Okie State, Miami, Florida, Baylor. I mean, it was quite a few.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was quite a few. I would put all my letters on my wall, and all four walls of my room was covered in mail from the schools. And it was a project that I did, and it was, for motivation.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Pierce,
Jack.
was my guy. He came down and
JP.
loved Jack. Yeah, Jack would come down and, show me give me a good time and those guys. And I think when I knew it was real when Tom Osborne walked in my house, 'cause my house, I'm not taller than my dad, but my dad could be like 5'10", so our house, wasn't tall, wasn't big, but when T.O. walked in my house, he was tall back then.
Mm-hmm.
And man, when he walked in my house, I was like, my God, it's real. When Tom Osborne is in my living room and in my kitchen, and then, Coach Brown would come down and we would actually set up chairs in my living room, and he would have me doing swim technique moves around the chairs in my living room, So it was real.
Man.
So it was real. And I think I took a trip, my first trip, I came to Nebraska, my first one. And the old saying, when you go and talk to coach, hey, we only have so many scholarships.
Mm-hmm.
One is yours if you want it. Well, I tell you what, coach, say no more, say less. That's mine. and So I took that, and then the next week, well, when I got back home, one of my coaches said, "Hey, you just need to take another trip because you never know." And I was like, I know. And I went to Texas the next weekend, and Texas, I was like, I like what you're doing, but I just wasn't into the Southwest Conference at the time. And I tell you that Monday morning, bright and early in the papers, Texas had said that I committed to them when I didn't.
Oh, wow.
And that caused some havoc. And I think Tuesday morning, I got to school late. And when I got to school, the principal ran outside and said, "Tom Osborne is in the building. You need to get in there, and why are you late?" I'm like, he here? What he here for? I got to the coach's office. He was in the office, and they were just trying to make sure, wasn't nothing going wrong. I'm a coach. I did not commit to Texas. That's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do it. And we resolved that, and I ended up giving all of the tickets for the other schools that I was supposed to go visit. We ended up sending those tickets back. So I only took 2 visits because I just knew Nebraska was the place for me. So I don't regret it.
Corey, when did they have Pickney, one of the receivers, and Adams? Were they there during that time too? Pickney and Adams? As receivers? Yeah.
I think Pickney was there.
Because that was huge.
I can't remember the quarterback. He was number 5.
Was it Sammy? No, it wasn't Sammy.
Yeah, I couldn't. But Pickney, that's familiar, those guys.
Yeah.
I think they were there because one of my high school classmates, when he was older, Mark Berry, was at Texas. So,
okay.
They were trying to get me to come down. But, I don't know why they put that in the paper that I committed to those guys, but I didn't.
Corey, you think about during this commitment time, and compared to now, and I don't like making comparisons because time changes. We all change and we develop, and we become more advanced in technology, etc. You saying that, like, you took those 2 trips, you sent the other tickets back. You're like, you didn't have 8 hats on a desk, playing, shuffle with the hats. You said, "I'm going to Nebraska," and you made it clear. What was it that sold you on Nebraska? Because, Big Bro, you mentioned Coach Osborne being there, Coach Brown being there. What was the feeling on your recruiting trip? What sold you on Nebraska rather than Texas, or even taking the other trips to the other schools to even see them? What was it that sold you?
Well, again, if you recall, I was a running back.
Mm-hmm.
In high school, Little League, I played running back. So whenever I turn on TV, when Nebraska was on ABC for Thanksgiving or playing in the bowl game, I look forward to Nebraska, Oklahoma, and I'm watching these running backs. Steve Taylor walk up to the line of scrimmage real sweet, late from the huddle, and the way he walked up to, Ken Clark taking an option or whatever. And I loved it. I just love that red and watching that. And I live for that that red. That's just something I always dreamed of, wanting to play in that big sea of red. And I can tell you, I think back when they played Georgia Tech.
Yep.
My senior year, I think it was my senior year, and when Jack Pierce called me at halftime or before the and I could hear all that crowd just screaming. I was like, yeah, I'm there. I am coming to Lincoln. But if I, looking back at it, I wouldn't tell my son. I was like, take all the visits you possibly can just to have a clear mind. But I just knew that Nebraska was the place for me. I had no other thought.
We want the folks to understand you can call in or you can text in to the Honda of Lincoln hotline at 402-464-5685, or the Sarger-Heyman text line as well, 402-464-5685. Corey, what was the eye-opener for you when you got to NU, and who took you under their wing? You mentioned that running back, you talking to Coach Osborne saying, "Yeah, I ain't ready for this yet." What was the eye-opener for you, and who kind of took you under their wing? Because people forget how many athletes were on that defense at that time in Nebraska, and also as the offense there at the time. When did you realize that I am no longer in Texas, and who took you under their wing?
Well, of course, on my recruiting trip, Keith McCant, he's
Big
from
Keith.
here. So we dealt, and he showed me the ropes and kind of gave me some insight.
Mm-hmm.
on Nebraska. And I always looked up to, Dana Brinson. He was gone when I got there, but I used to look up to him, and I
D-Rock.
met Tyrone T. Hughes, my
Yes.
guy, Dr. T. Hughes, and being on the field, I think Jack hooked me and Cedric Collins up. He was from Slidell, so he got us together. So I met Reggie Cooper, and being out there on the field, I'm running up against guys like Bruce Pickens, T. Leggett, Tahan Lewis, and, Curtis Cotton. I'm going against these guys like, man, you guys are fast, and they would always tell me, slow down, because I'm at full speed. I don't care what the play is. I'm full speed. Even if it's zone and man, I'm full speed. And Coop pulled me to the side one day and he said, Cole, look, slow down. You're going to hurt yourself. Slow down. Mickey Joseph would even come and whisper in my ear, just slow down, just be patient. So I had to learn to be patient and have poise. But, when you come into Nebraska and me being at the size that I was at, and I'm looking at guys just looking like giants, I'm like, I'm not letting nobody touch me. So I'm about speed, but I had to learn how to utilize it and use it to my advantage. So, those guys kind of made me feel at home because I was homesick. Matter of fact, I caught the bus home. And didn't nobody know but said. I caught the bus home. T.O. found out, somebody told it. and he called my mom and said he needs to get back so he can stay the weekend, but he needs to be back in class on Monday. So I got on the bus, and I never caught the bus again because I think that bus ride was like 24 hours. I left Texas at 6 a.m. 6. I got back in Nebraska at 7 a.m. and had a 7:30 class.
Oh, bro. I was going to think, I was like, that was a short trip back to the crib then, wasn't it?
Yeah, very short.
Hey, Corey, me and Clester Johnson, man. Remember at the bowl games, they would give us a stipend if we didn't fly back with the team? We had a little stipend they give you?
Yeah.
Me and Clester, we took that stipend money in the 92 Orange Bowl, all right? Clester was going to Memphis to see his family. I was going to Alabama to see some relatives. Bruh, I have not been on a bus ever since then. I will never take another bus after that trip, man. You see a different part of the world, bruh.
Yeah, that bus stop at every. That bus makes too many stops.
Too many stops,
that was
man.
my first and only time. Last time.
Yeah, I'll never do it again. Never do it again.
Nope.
You mentioned the number of guys that were there during that time. In fact, Curtis Cotton, Tahan Lewis, Bruce Pickens, of course, Coach Mickey now, Reggie Cooper, all those guys just kind of teaching you how to slow down. Corey, I remember when I got to Nebraska, it was me, Raleigh Washington, Holbein, and all of those guys. I remember when we first checked in as freshmen, you guys, the older classmen, you guys didn't check in until later during fall camp. As freshmen, when you checked in, when you were freshmen, you check in, just be with freshmen. But the only thing is, man, we had Toby Wright and Kareem Moss who had transferred from JUCOs to Nebraska.
Right.
So can you imagine trying to get off the line of scrimmage with Toby Wright standing in front of you and you ain't nothing but 18 years old, barely out of high school? He beat us like we stole something, CD.
Yeah, Toby was strong too. He was real strong. He had them big hands, long arms,
and strong. And you had Kareem who was crafty as well. So, but I remember, Corey, how you would take us aside along with Abdul, along with Tree, Tremaine Bell, Brett Popwell and those guys. You would pull us to the side and you would teach us little techniques and little nuances, just like the older guys taught you. Hey, you got to slow down. Now, all of us, especially me, didn't have the speed that you had. Not very few did. But you gave us little techniques and nuances of how to run routes and how to get people's hands off you. How important is that even for right now for the older guys to teach the younger guys? Because I've been saying this, and me and you've had these conversations, as well as the older big bros too. When you don't understand your history and the traditions, we can go from the black shirts to wide receivers, the itty bitty committee. When you don't understand your history, it's no difference like in your home right now, Corey. You got pictures of your family, grandparents, etc. Your daughters and your kids know them and they appreciate it. If teams don't know their history, their DNA, they don't appreciate it. Why was that important for you to teach us and for you to tell us to teach those after us?
Well, I just think that's something that's passed down. I mean, I think that's what keeps the foundation strong. If we don't pass down what we were taught, then I mean it's useless. And we see guys that have a lot of potential, because the thing is, if you pay attention to us as receivers, when Tyrone Hughes left or John Bostic, gave me words of encouragement I learned from JB, I have to turn around and give you guys that same thing, because it would bother me if you couldn't get off the line of scrimmage, then I wasn't doing my part as a teammate. So I have to make sure that we, as a receiver unit, we all have to be on the same page, regardless if you fast or not. Because the thing of it, what I've learned was, running routes wasn't about just running routes at full speed. I don't think I ever ran a route at full speed unless we're in the man-to-man coverage or something. But normally you just, you want to create separation, be able to get off the line of scrimmage, and you want to think about, because if I was out wide and Abdul was on the inside and we was running a route, I want to make sure that it wasn't just about me. It had to be about everybody on the line of scrimmage. So being a receiver, working against the DBs, we have to mirror those guys. Right. They want to be aggressive. They want to use their hands to stop us. We have to use our hands and do what we do to get open. And at that particular time, we were known for running routes and cut blocking. That was one of our things, blocking, stalk blocking. So we had to use that to our advantage. You could go out there and block. You could go out there and we get so many pancakes. We get graded for it. And we just have to pass that down so we all could be great. When I left, then it was y'all turn to step up and do great things, and so on and so forth.
Folks, that's Corey Dixon, Nebraska legend, wide receiver, wingback, kick returner. We got one more break to pay the bills. We will close out to get some final words from Corey about what it meant for him to be at Nebraska, what we can do in the future. We'll be back with Riffin with Raff and AD.
Maximize your savings with Bryant. Bryant offers efficient heating and cooling system options to help you save on your monthly utility bill. If you act now, their team will secure all available rebates to maximize your savings. Hurry, these rebates are for a limited time only. Call Bryant. Ask for a free estimate to save and improve your comfort. 467-1111. Online at BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Are you tired of lousy internet and faceless customer service? It's time to experience local, honest, hassle-free, and exceptional. That's the Allo Promise. We not only provide crazy fast fiber internet, crystal clear TV, and dependable phone service, but we choose to become a part of the communities that we serve and love when everyone calls or stops by our store to say hello. So, don't settle for mediocre, settle for exceptional with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/local.
Brown Shoe Fit is gearing up for spring with new inventory on the way. They're stocking up on new spring sandals and athletic shoes daily in brands like Brooks, Hoka, Keen, Merrill, On, and many, many more. Browns has the local professionals to get the proper fit, aided by their high-tech foot scanner by Atrax. Spring is the season to be active and busy. Don't let your feet lose their support with old rundown shoes or sandals. Stop by Brown's Shoe Fit today, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. And things have obviously been pretty challenging lately with new vehicles, with all the microchip and supply chain issues, but things continue to loosen up as Koppel gets more and more new vehicles in each and every week. We've had many customers also custom order their vehicles. So if you don't see what you want in our current inventory, we can put an order in to get exactly what you want. So go online, reserve your new vehicle at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did.
Have you ever wanted to build a catapult? Have you ever wanted to launch something other than water balloons with a water balloon launcher? Do you want to be a national champion? Then you need to get a team and sign up for the National Avocado Launching Championship, May 21st in North Platte. That's right, the National Avocado Launching Championship is taking place right here in Nebraska. Launch avocados for fame and glory. Sign up at avocadolaunching.com. That is avocadolaunching.com. And remember, the top prize is $5,000.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Nebraska Army National Guard. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association at this station.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill has 2 Lincoln locations that are great for any occasion. If you're downtown for a basketball game or a concert, stop by their newest spot at 10th and P. Don't forget to check out their social media pages to learn about any concerts on stage at Rosie's. If you want to avoid a busy downtown scene, head over to the original Rosie's just south of 14th and Highway 2 for a feeling of your local hometown bar. There's plenty of TVs at both places and great food and drink. What are you waiting for? Rosie Sports Bar and Grill at 10th and P and on South 14th Street.
Today on Hey Culligan, unnecessary contaminants. Here's the referee.
Hey, Culligan, that's a flag, on my water for flagrant foul taste.
Ooh, that's a tough one, Ref, but the solution is a Culligan Smart RO drinking water system that reduces up to 58 contaminants, making your water safer and delicious.
Yeah, I guess I missed that call.
And with the Culligan Connect app, you always know when your filters need changing.
The water's up, and it's good.
Good call, Ref, and we're already on the way.
Try a Culligan water softener for just $9.95 per month. Go to CulliganLincoln.com.
At Baxter, we put you in the driver's seat with a simplified buying process, at-home test drives, hassle-free delivery, and service pickup and return. Check out all our new vehicle specials now during Ram Truck Month at Baxter Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Find great deals now on new Rams, Jeeps, and more during Ram Truck Month and the Jeep Celebration event at Baxter Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Shop our entire inventory of new and certified pre-owned vehicles anytime. At Baxter, we put you in the driver's seat.
Now back to Riffin with Raff and AD on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, we're back here. Fastest 2 hours of the week. Riffing with Raff and AD with our guest Corey Dixon. Corey, take out the Orange Bowls. What is your most memorable game while you played for the Huskers?
Most memorable, I would have to probably say, and I think Abdul kind of reminded me of this one. I think it may have been Colorado 93. I think I had a pretty good game against those guys. I think that was a good one that I can recall. Of course, Tokyo was doing something different. That was a good one against K-State, but I think it would have to be Colorado. I think.
Corey, you mentioned the blocking at Nebraska. How tough of that was it a transition for you from being a running back, having the ball a ton, then moving totally positions, and then for Coach Osborne and Coach Brown to convince us, yeah, you're not going to catch as many balls. I want you to enjoy blocking. How tough was that? A tough transition for you, and how did you learn to like it?
Yeah, that was very tough. Especially from going from 25, 30 touches a game to maybe 5 a game, if that, was real tough. Take some adjustments, and sometimes being a young adult, negative things run through your head. But when you take away self and say this is a team thing and it's about us as a unit, then you want to go out and win games. And I think with the offense or with the system we had, man, I think we rewarded ourselves on the production of the way we blocked. So it became fun, especially the way Coach Brown did it. We got graded. And then when we watch film and we see the way we taking these guys out and we kind of put the sauce on it, I'm running a 9 route or a post and corner. You guys think I'm running a post and corner. Next thing you know, I'm chopping him down. Right. Next thing you know, Calvin Jones or somebody running by.
Right.
Those are great things to see. And so once we kind of put it into that type of formula, man, we enjoyed it. It wasn't nothing like pancakes and coming to the sideline, giving a high five to you or anybody on the sideline, because we done, as small as we were, to be able to take those guys down, man, that was beautiful.
You know what, you guys, Corey, you made it fun for us younger guys in that you led by example. In that we'd see you chopping these guys. I think about I'll never forget. We were playing against Colorado, and Dion Figures was on that other squad, man. And by the time I got in the game, the game was done. And he was looked at me. He goes, "Bruh," I can't say what he said on the air. He goes, "Why are you still chopping me, man? Do you see the score?" But that's just how we were taught, man. You know.
Yeah, that's clockwork. That's clockwork. That was the play. You know.
Right.
I'm getting graded for this.
I'm getting graded.
Do you know?
I'm getting graded. Do you know what the score is? Corey, what would you like to see? We got a few more minutes left. I definitely want to get one in about 2 more in real fast. I think Raff is. What would you like to see from this, from going forward with the Huskers right now? You know, I mean, just far as, you know, from receiving core and just overall team culture, what would you like to see?
Well, I think, you know, I'm seeing the growth. You know, if we go back, you know, we always could be selfish. I want to feel like, hey, we need to go back to what it used to be. Right. And I know the game has truly changed. Absolutely. And so we have to adapt as onlookers with where we are. But, you know, I just want to see success from the university, from the guys on the field. You know, being humble and success and bringing bring the program back to what it used to be. Right. I think we're all spoiled to that. So I'm happy to see that. And as a player, I look at, say, wow, you know, with the system that the guys are playing now, I know you would love to be in that system where we, you know, have 5-6 guys out wide. And, you know, that's a beautiful thing to see. And like I think I was telling VJ on this show that little that people know, man, we running the spread offense in practice, you know, 24/7. We out there running shoot almost in practice all the time. So, you know, but overall, I just want to see the guys, the program successful, you know.
Absolutely.
That's pretty much where I want it to be.
You know, we all want them to be successful, man, and just want them to have a great college experience at Nebraska like we had. And like you mentioned, you know, systems evolve, they change, etc. And like I said, I'm excited. I'm excited with Whip and Raiola and Mickey and what they're going to bring there. And just with those new additions. So it's exciting to see that, man. It's exciting to see that. Corey, tell us about this. You know, Doak sent another question in, which was good. Doak said, we're talking about, and I was thinking about this. Do you have a daughter that's playing college soccer right now, or she already done?
No, she you know, Corey, she's in a senior. Well, this is her last year. You know, she's gone through 3 surgeries in 3 years. So both ACLs and both legs. And then she ended up having some that I heard of, never heard of, Cyclops lesion.
Oh, wow.
And so she was doing wonderful things out there at South Alabama, man. So she's back for her final year. She get her master's in December. So she's got an opportunity to play pro. So I'm kind of in her ear about it. And, you know, she always, you know, I mean, a very talented young lady. And, I mean, I'm telling you, if you say fast, but her dad was fast. My daughter's fast as well, man. She's exciting to watch.
And with a soccer ball at that.
Yeah, she can go. So I'm happy for, you know, especially, you know, I have 3 girls, man. And my oldest is 27. Corey is 24, and Jari, my youngest, is 21. So, you know, no boys. So I look forward to what they're doing, well, what my daughter's doing in soccer. So it's a great thing.
Corey, we can't thank you enough, big bro. We're definitely going to have you on again, man. I can't too much. I appreciate you, how much you've helped me out, just not only as a young man in college, but as a grown man. And I love you, and I appreciate you, and that connection is long. We appreciate you, man.
I appreciate it, man. I'll be up next week. So
I can't wait.
I get to see you.
I can't wait. We're going to make it happen, man.
Oh, yeah. I appreciate you guys having me.
You know it, brother.
All right. That does it for another Riffin with Raff and AD. Everyone have a great night, and we will see you next week. Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here